You wake up one morning and suddenly realize, starting today, your new hobby is microscopy. You are ready to spend up to $1,000 on this new passion. You're just beginning your journey into the world of microscopes and you don't really know what to expect yet, but you want every single dollar to work as hard as possible. This video is for you. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Eric and I'm a microscopy application specialist with 15 years of experience. On this channel we talk about optical and electron microscopes. Quite often we just explore different objects under the different microscopes and cover the basics of microscopy. Alright, straight to the point. The first and most important thing before you even open eBay or Amazon is to decide what kind of samples you want to study. I'll say this right away. There's no universal microscope that can show you everything. It simply doesn't exist. That's why in research labs you'll see tons of different systems. Some of them don't even look like microscopes, even though technically they are. Let's start by dividing samples into two basic types: opaque samples and transparent or semi-transparent samples that let light pass through. This directly affects the type of illumination you'll need. Some microscopes have both transmitted and reflected light, but that usually increases the price. Let's look at examples. A piece of a silicon wafer, microelectronic components, metals, polymers, rocks and minerals, insects. These are usually opaque objects. On the other hand, thin sections, living cells, prepared insects part like a butterfly or fly wing, single-cell organisms, tardigrades, blood and similar samples. These are transparent samples. Next, let's divide samples into another category. Flat, thin-prepared samples versus large, three-dimensional objects with complex shapes. Simple examples of complex 3D objects: river sand, plant stamens, coins, fibers, interesting micromechanisms like watch movements, some part of microelectronics and of course insects. These are 3D and geometrically complex. You can prepare parts of them. For example, you can remove a fly's wing, place it on a slide under a cover slip, and now you've turned it into a flat sample. Now let's talk about microscopes. Starting conditions. Budget around $1,000. Goal: maximum image quality and ability to shoot HD or 4K video to share with friends on social media. I'll talk about cameras and all that recording features at the end. For now, let's focus on microscope options. Your choices are actually pretty limited. Stereo microscope. A stereo microscope is a great option. Maximum magnification will be around 50 times. Yes, technically you can add auxiliary optics and eyepieces and push it close to 200 times, but keep in mind the real resolution won't increase much. In this price range, fair enough, 50 times is what you get. With a stereo microscope, you can easily observe insects and other 3D objects thanks to its large depth of field. You can solder, assemble things, inspect basically anything. No sample preparation required at all, just put the object under the microscope and look. Super simple. But keep expectations realistic. You won't be able to see single-cell organisms, there just isn't enough magnification. Real resolution is about 10 microns. Butterfly wing scales are a great example of what and how you can see. Many stands offer both reflected and transmitted light, which is a big plus. It expands what you can study. I'll talk about trinocular tubes and photography later. That applies to all microscopes. One of the best options available is SZN71 microscope. It's a Chinese copy of Olympus SZ61TR, which is also great. Continuous zoom, up to 45 times magnification in standard configuration and up to 90x with additional optics. This is definitely a solid start. You can also buy a used microscope, but when it comes to stereo microscopes, I'd be very careful. A stereo microscope has to be perfectly aligned at the factory, and buying one second-hand can easily turn into a bad deal. Seriously, buying new SZN71 is worth every single dollar. You can find the same microscope under different brands. Just pay attention to the specification and details. Digital microscope. If you don't plan on using eyepieces at all and only care about photos and video, while still working with everyday objects and no sample preparation, a digital microscope might be your choice. What you need is a zoom microscope with a 1x C-mount adapter and a camera body. My example isn't perfect. The camera is built in, but the idea is the same. Essentially, it's one optical channel of a stereo microscope with continuous zoom and imaging at the same magnification. You can also do focus stacking, shooting multiple focal planes and combining them later in Photoshop, but again, limitations apply. Maximum optical magnification is still about 50 times. Blood cells, microorganisms, diatoms, you won't see them. Microstructures of metals or minerals will also be very hard to resolve. I recommend the SZ12 from Sunny Optical simply for its quality and options like metallographic objectives, which significantly increase magnification and resolution. Some devices can also be found on the Microscope page. Once again, simple design, glass optics and 1x C-mount adapter, that's what you need. You can use a stand and illumination from stereo microscope, they are identical. Want higher magnification? Planning to study microorganisms, tardigrades, diatoms, or already have a collection of prepared slides? Then you should look at transmitted light laboratory called compound microscope. You'll get a beautiful image through the eyepieces and a very reasonable price. But as always, there are some pros and cons. If your object isn't flat, observing it becomes very difficult. Magnification is high, depth of field is just microns. River sand, insects or fibers will be extremely hard to visualize. Compound transmitted light microscope is a perfect solution for blood smears, prepared slide collections and permanent samples under a cover slip. One key thing to pay attention to: try to find a microscope with infinity corrected objectives and RMS threads. The cheapest microscopes use finite optics, usually 160 mm. The objective is the most important part of your microscope in creating a high-quality image. With infinity optics you can upgrade later. Olympus objectives, some Zeiss objectives and many others are compatible or can be adapted. You can also add accessories like reflected illuminator for opaque samples or polarization modules to study crystal growth in liquid. For some of them, you can use simple DIY things. Reflected light microscopy. Last thing, if you want to study silicon wafers, polished metal samples or stone cross-sections, you're probably not a total beginner anymore, but still, you'll need reflected light. Now we can observe opaque samples, polished mirrors, metals and similar surfaces, but this doesn't work well for complex shapes. Light scatters in all directions and contrast is reduced. Side illumination sometimes helps at lower magnifications, but for lower magnifications it's easier to use stereo microscope. You can see some affordable reflected light microscopes on the screen. They are more expensive, a little out of our budget. Photo and video capture. In this budget you really only have two options: a smartphone or a camera with interchangeable lenses. The second option is better. A used DSLR works great. Crop factor around 1.5 is perfect. You don't need a lens, just the camera body. Forget about dedicated microscope cameras at this price, image quality will be terrible. Specialized cameras only make sense when the microscope is software controlled, motorized and supports measurements and image stitching. That's awesome, but way out of this budget. A trinocular tube is a nice option. Its main advantage is usability, but even the cheapest one costs extra money, so if you have a binocular microscope, don't worry. All you need to do is remove one eyepiece and make an adapter between the eyepiece tube and the camera mount. Everything will work just fine. It's less convenient, but there's even a bonus. Without a beam splitting prism, the image is brighter. You can use lower ISO, which is especially useful for polarization or dark field microscopy, where light is limited. But that's a topic for another video. If you do have a trinocular tube, all you need is a 1x C-mount adapter, no lenses inside, the cheapest one, just a metal tube, and a camera mount adapter. If you want to connect an iPhone to a microscope, check out this video where I explain everything in detail. If you're choosing a microscope and need advice, leave a comment. I'll help you out. See you in the next episode.